Hi, my name is Lyle. I'm the owner-operator of Lone Wolf Tube Amps here in San Diego. And Lone Wolf Tube Amps is not to be confused with Lone Wolf, which is another company back east. He's into harmonicas. He makes little harmonica amps. He makes like little anti-feedback pedals and that sort of thing. All harmonica stuff. Anyway, he's on the East Coast. I'm on the West Coast. I'm a repair facility. I repair tube amps, especially vintage tube amps. Been doing that for about, well, since 2008. And I do about 300 amps a year, so 3,000 or so. So I've done a few tube amps. But anyway, we're not here to talk about the business. We're here to talk about pedals. My friend James, who's going to help us out with the guitar. First, I want to tell you a little bit about the pedals. This took a couple years of R&D to get this to the point that it is. It uses a 12AX7. And the difference on my pedals is this 12AX7 tube is actually running at serious amp type voltages. Most pedals that I've seen, the ones I've taken apart, the tube is just kind of in there for looks. It's running at 10 volts and it's not really doing anything for your sound. Now 12AX7 is a very flexible tube. It'll run anywhere from 300 volts down to 100 volts. If you get below 100 volts, things start getting a little sketchy. If you get below 50 volts, all bets are off. It's going to sound pretty much like crap. You got to have, a good rule of thumb is you got to have at least 100 volts to run a tube. So what I did, this is looks like a 9-volt adapter, but it's actually 12 volts AC. So you'll need someplace to find this one more adapter, plug it in. So you've got 12 volts coming into your pedal. That 12 volts goes to the tube to run the filament. That 12 volts also goes to a little transformer in here, which kicks it up to like 80 volts. That 80 volts goes into a voltage doubler circuit, which kicks it up to 160 volts. So inside this pedal, you've actually got a 160 volt supply. So now this 12AX7 thinks that it's inside of a vintage tube amplifier, because it's running at those kind of voltages. The other thing I want to mention is if you're going to do something, you do it right. For instance, these are Switchcraft Jacks. All my pedals use Switchcraft Jacks. They're made in the USA. Yeah, they cost more. Yeah, they're better. The tube socket, I could have used a plastic tube socket, but I didn't. Porcelain is better. Everything on this is heavy duty. This is the most heavy-duty switch I could find. It is a true bypass, by the way. When you click this off, there's nothing but a wire between the input and the output. So you can stack 2 or 3 of these in line. If they're turned off, they're all true bypass. Nobody's going to affect your sound. Now, as far as what these are, this gold one here is called a fat glass. This is an overdrive distortion type pedal. This blue one here is a tube tremolo, and it does exactly what it says. It's a real smooth tremolo. Now, as far as tone, I'm sure you're thinking, well, that's great. What do they sound like? So for tone, we've got James here is playing a nice guitar. That's going to go through these pedals into this little Fender Princeton. This is your basic nothing Princeton. It doesn't even have any reverb on it. It's just a plain Jane Princeton. In fact, play me something just clean. There we go. Clean Fender. And which one do you want to start with?
Oh, let's check out this Trem.
Okay.
I love this thing. It sounds beautiful.
Also, I want to mention these there's no shortcuts in here. There's no printed circuit boards. There's no transistors in here. You won't find any integrated circuits in any of my pedals. It's just hand wired, point to point. That's the way they did it in the 50s and 60s, and that's the right way to do it, at least I think so. You hand wire it. Here in the USA, it's done right. These come with a 1-year warranty that covers everything in the pedal. That also covers the tube. In case you kick it and break it, I'll cover the tube. Not a big deal. A lot of people worry about breaking these, but they're actually pretty sturdy. That's why the metal cover. So, I'm going to turn on this one.
Yes, sir.
About 3/4 on the gain, and it's still got plenty of gain. can tell, we've swapped guitars. We're playing a very simple Fender Squire. This is the guitar I use in my shop for testing out an amp. I figure if an amp sounds good with this basic guitar, it's going to sound great when you get it home. Actually showing the backside of the neck on that. That guitar's been around the block a couple of times.
Yeah. That's what makes it sound good.
That's Led Zeppelin through a basic Strat, played through a fat glass. It's all about having a quality pedal. The driving idea behind this pedal is that you can go anywhere from Stevie Ray to Led Zeppelin, pretty much anywhere in between. The controls are real simple. You got gain, volume, and there's a tone here in the back. You pretty much dial it in and you're good to go. It's not hard to set up, and it'll sound good just about wherever you put the knobs. And when you click it off, it is absolutely clean, hardwire bypass. That's our basic tone. Now these are, I have one distributor so far here in Santee. That's Top 40 Guitars. They're not hard to find on the web. It's top40guitars.com.
That's easy.
They're my distributor. Oh, I didn't mention price. This is $229 for the blue one, $249 for the driver. And you go to top40guitars.com, click on pedals, and you'll find these. And then our next video, we'll do a shootout. We'll get some tube screamers and some tube drivers, and we'll compare this to some other tube pedals. I'm looking forward to that myself. Having a shootout with some Ibanez type pedals. In the meantime, I want to thank James for playing guitar for me, Tom for shooting the video, and like I said, we're going to do a shootout. We'll put that up on the web next. And thank you for watching.
You get that bite in there from that. That's cool. It's a good little sound.